I might not be able to make this video. I might not be able to. But I'm giving it a try. I have monstrous hatred in my system that runs from my head, through my arm, my hand, in extreme shock waves through the side of my very long body, into my thighs, and it is like an earthquake shock. I don't want to demonstrate it right now because I don't want my baby dog to get scared. I don't even want to roll up that kind of energy again. So I'm very, very angry right now in this moment. But last night I was talking to Muslim men. I was so angry that I am afraid of my own anger. That's how afraid I am. Thank you, Blue God. The Blue God is protecting us. I am terrified of my own anger. And when you have anger like this, particularly when it gets that out of control, the energy in the body, and you don't act it out on anyone, you don't even go to some padded wall, throw yourself, which I want to do, you know, at the Primal Center in LA. I feel like going there and just full force, like running up to that padded wall and throwing myself sideways onto it or backwards, and then pounding the shit out of that padded wall and doing some Medusa screams. Okay, that's what I feel like doing, but I don't have that here, and I don't want to scare the baby dog with that kind of energy. Yes, baby dog. If I had a primal room, which is a soundproof room, somewhere further down the hallway or something where the baby dog cannot hear me. Okay, even the energy doesn't get to him, so he doesn't notice how I feel. So if I have my own greenhouse, I have a primal room there with a padded wall that is soundproof, then I can go in there and I can scream the shit out of it. And beat my fists against that padded wall over and over and over and over again. But I don't have that here. And I also remember what Thich Nhat Hanh said. He said, if we beat a mattress or a pillow, or if we punch a punching bag, so then we kind of reinforce that neuronal connection of hatred, because it does create a release of tension, and then the body can very likely develop a dependency on this dopamine effect, the dopamine loop that is happening in the brain, and I don't want that to happen. So okay, that's why I wanted to talk about Joan of Arc. Also, I wanted to talk about Joan of Arc like a week ago, so this is where that ties in. Joan of Arc, I don't know if people are familiar with that historic figure, around somewhere in the 1400s, mid-1400s, medieval time in France, was a woman called Jeanne d'Arc. That was her actual name, not Joan of Arc. Jeanne d'Arc is her French name. And And she was 18 or 19 when the British soldiers came over and occupied some parts of France. And they came in, and because they knew they could, they would go into just civilians' houses and rape women and then kill them and take their food and so on. And that's what they did with her sister. Her sister protected her with her own body. She hid in a closet, and the sister was protecting that closet with her own body to protect the sister. And the psychopaths from the British military came in. They raped the sister, and then they stabbed her with a sword into her heart and into the closet. And Jeanne d'Arc had to experience this, and that brought up her Medusa. Okay. And that was so monstrous, that experience, that she went into a very uncomfortable mental state, into a very monstrous hatred. And she found a sword in a field. And she took that sword, and she decided that she had to go into battle. Okay. And take a note, that was around 1400, when women were not even allowed to wear pants in Europe. They were like where Islam is today. Islam is like in the Middle Ages still. So she got herself a knight's outfit with pants and everything and an armor. She got a horse, a gladiator horse, one of the draft horses. She went to the king, she bowed down to the king, and she said, "King, I want to fight for the freedom of this region. I want to fight for you." And the king didn't take her seriously, but it sounded kind of nice, because they were defeated by the British. And she kept on talking about this, and she said that she feels it at the bottom of her heart that she has to go into battle, and that she has to be leading a battle. She has to be the battle leader. And he finally let her do it. They won the battle. They won every single battle with her leadership. And she was only 19 years old. And what happened then is, the reason why I'm bringing this up is, what happened then is, I'm making a video right now, and this is a real important video. I'm making a video right now. This is an important video. I'm making a video right now. So, and this is a real important video right now that I'm making. I cannot delete this, I'm sorry. This is really, really important information. I cannot do another take on this. Okay, so this is hard enough already in that mental state that I am in to make this video. So what happened then is, she won every battle, which was, of course, that was an affirmation for her, to her. and that was a reward for that, for acting out that hatred, of course. But she didn't go after the ones that were slain. She wouldn't be killing someone who would be just defeated on the ground. She would protect them. So, and while the other guys, they wanted to kill every single one, no matter how much they are already defeated on the ground. She protected. She said, no, they're already on the ground. Let them live. And they thanked her for that, the people that she spared. So after they won the battles, she got injured really badly also during those battles, but she developed superhuman strengths, where she didn't feel any pain, and they just took a sword out of her side and bandaged her, and she went back into battle right afterwards. I mean, a totally fierce and fearless woman. That's the Medusa soul. Okay. And that's why she won those battles. That was completely unheard of during that time for a woman to win battles. But these regions were in despair, and they needed someone of conviction to tell them, we can do it, we can make it, we can win this battle. Okay. So that's why they gave her that chance, and once she won the battle, then they let her go into more battles. But then the king finally said, we won all these battles, we got our regions back. So let's leave it at that. Let's not go further into battle, because that would just cause more problems, because we just claimed our rights back. If we become an offender, then the British will send more troops and so on. So, and she didn't listen to the king. She insisted. And why did she insist to go into battles again? Because she created a dopamine loop addiction in the brain. That's why. The anger and the acting out of the anger, and then on top of all of this, the reward of winning the battle is a dopamine rush that goes through the body. That's like the biggest high of a drug high, natural drug high there is. It's like you feel like you're stellar. You feel like you can do anything. Okay, you are infinitely powerful, which she was. Okay, but she became addicted to going into battle. That's why so many people, by the way, re-enlist into wars. People think they're crazy, right? They have a dopamine loop addiction going on in the brain. This is highly addictive. That's why people thrive on conflict. That's why they go out there and kick ass. They just want to kick ass for the sake of kicking ass. It's addictive. Okay, that's when they finally feel alive. That's when they finally feel like not stepped on, which is just a thought in their heads. They're not being stepped on, but they feel like it. And so they develop this polarization and this rage against a specific demographic, and then they go against them, and then they feel alive. They feel like they have some kind of power. In Joan of Arc's case, it was justified in the beginning, but then the dopamine addiction kicked in. She went into battles again, several battles. In the last battle she lost. The English deported her to England, where they put her in a dungeon, repeatedly raped her all day long. Of course, can you imagine? A woman in the dungeon, a 19-year-old woman in the dungeon. I mean, what better? Yeah. So that's the ultimate bondage experience. And such a fierce witch as that, Whoa, that's irresistible. She got pregnant. They continued to rape her and beat her. Then she was put on a tribunal of a total religious nut shit crazy tribunal, where, I don't know, some kind of priest came and said, I give you the chance now to repent to Jesus and surrender your mind to the right religion. Okay, the Muslims will say that too about their religion. The Jewish Orthodox will say that too about their religion. The Hindus will say the same about the Buddhists will say the same, and so on and on and on and on until we were through the entire 500,000 religions on earth, was worshipping different 5,000 gods plus volcano gods and so on. So, but she had a communication with the infinite, and I don't know how she called that, and she said, that is my connection to the infinite. So, and no, I'm not resorting to some shit religion. I couldn't tolerate it. I wouldn't even want to exist like that. So they said, okay, it's your choice. We're gonna put you onto a stack of wood and we're gonna light it up, make a bonfire and burn you alive. And that's what they did. And what happened then is, because of her Medusa that came out, she stared them down, and she didn't feel a thing. She didn't feel any pain at all. She just stared them down. Like that. I can have a much worse look on my face. I choose not to do it right now. I can have a look on my face that might turn people into stone. It might. Okay, let's not chance it. And so that was the end of her life story. The bonfire. And the whole time she was just staring them down while she was burning alive. Pretty creepy. Well, that's the least they deserved for what they did to her. And I hope that haunted them afterwards. That stare. I hope that stare came to them at night. Relentlessly. Okay. And so my message to Muslims, and not all Muslims are psychopaths. Obviously there is 1 out of 1,000,000 who is not. But I'm talking to the psychopathic Muslims, and to all psychopaths, all devil worshippers that are psychopathic. Not all devil worshippers are psychopathic, but the majority of them are. Okay, so I'm talking to all of those. Don't mess with the wrong people.